45% of cases listed in between 2007 and the end of May this year were struck out because summonses had not been served. The summonses were meant to be served on drivers who failed to pay fixed charge penalty notices. And that's all for now. It's 7:02.
News Talk Weather.
Thanks to the AA. You can find our lowest car insurance price online, guaranteed.
Some showers tonight, which could turn into more persistent rain over the south and southwest. There's a chance of mist or fog patches as well, with low temperatures of 10 to 13 degrees. And now you're up to date on News Talk.
Off the ball. This is News Talk.
Well, exciting news, everyone. Kevin Kilbane's in studio this evening. We've got League Cup action cross-channel as well. Troy Parrott is starting for Spurs. Jarlath Burns, meanwhile, you may have seen in the last week or so, has announced his candidacy for GAA president. We will talk to Burns just after 8 o'clock. And then Dundalk are League of Ireland champions a fifth time in 6 years. We'll have the club captain, Brian Gartland, in studio, or on the phone rather. John Gill will be in studio. He's been alongside Vinnie Perth. And that will be at 7:30. 53106, the text number. We are at Off the Ball on Twitter. Richie McCormack back with us. Hello.
How are you, Joe?
And Kevin Kilbane.
How are we?
How are you?
It's not a big deal, is it?
It feels like once a month at this stage.
Oh, yeah, it is. I feel like we've been graced with your presence.
Is it really? I don't know about it.
There was an atmosphere of excitement when we got word that you were coming in today.
Was there really?
Yeah, we're in the hold office.
I don't know about that.
Kilbane's in, they start whispering. Can it be true? Troy Parrott starts for Spurs this evening.
That's your big headline there.
The first Irish Spurs player since?
Stephen Kelly.
Robbie Keane.
Robbie Keane, yeah, of course.
Caoimhín Kelleher set to start for Liverpool tomorrow. The first Irish Liverpool player since?
Robbie Keane.
Robbie Keane.
Yeah.
He gets around.
Yeah, he does.
That's got to be the case for most Premier League clubs.
That's true, yeah.
If somebody performs for Aston Villa, suddenly they're the first Irish player since Robbie Keane.
Yeah, here we are.
Celtic since Robbie Keane.
It'd be nice to get a look at Troy Parrott this evening.
Yeah, I think that's big news. I think we expected him certainly to be involved tonight at some stage, so it's great. Now we can seriously start considering him for senior international selection. He's not played a senior game, which is the thing that would obviously put me off selecting him. I know he's done great at underage level, but it's a different game, it is. And this tonight will be a serious test for him. But the pre-season games that he played, he impressed Pochettino. He's obviously included him in his Champions League squad, so that's a great thing for him. And I think getting this game time tonight will be great. I think we'll have a good look at him, and hopefully he scores. As
you graduated first from underage football to senior football, what was the biggest area that you found?
Well, do you know what I think helped, certainly through my time, was definitely reserve team football, because reserve team football you were in against basically lads who were on the periphery of first teams against the clubs you were up against, and also lads who were coming back from injury. So most reserve teams would have 6 or 7 lads who you'd regularly know every week, whichever level you were at. So
that's changed now, though, really.
Yeah, it has changed. It's under 23 football, and you can have, I think it's 2 overage lads that can drop down to get game time if necessary in the 23. So that's the difficulty, I think, really. So that was good from my point of view. You know what it is? It's more that tension around playing a first team game, that nervousness that's with you, because that's where you're building your whole career towards. And then I started it was the lowest level. My first game was at Plainmoor. Do you know what ground that is, Joe? Plainmoor, you might know that, Rich.
In Rotherham?
Oh, no.
Scarborough?
Give us a hint.
South coast of England.
No.
It was at Torquay United.
Torquay.
Yeah, Torquay United. So, I mean, he's going at a different level, of course he is, and the standard that he's been around day in, day out is a lot different than the standard I would have been around. So, but I do remember it was the first game I was selected on the bench, and I was bricking it.
Sure.
Just bricking it in the lead up to the game, and then I got off the bench, and I had a bit of an impact that season. Across the season, we got promoted out of League 2, Division 3 at the time, and you managed to progress from there. But it will be nervy for him. But he seems to me the sort of character that just takes it all on board. He doesn't seem to be.
I don't see
bothered about
him many times I've seen him play.
Yeah, he will.
I know tonight's going to be different. Yeah,
he will have, but it
doesn't show. It doesn't manifest itself in the way he plays.
Totally agree, Rich. Yeah, it doesn't come across that way with him, and it's where he feels he's destined to be. So fair play to him, and I hope he does well.
How much of him have you seen?
I saw him play in the 17s, the Irish 17s, about a year ago, and I I've seen a few of the pre-season games, and I saw under 23 game that was live on. Did they show them on Eurosport, the under 23 games?
I think Sky showed them he's playing against Inter.
Yeah, that was the one. They were the ones that I've seen him. So I've not seen a lot of him, and I only saw the clips of him, obviously from the Sweden game last month. So I'd be pretty much with everyone else. I've seen him live up close once, and I've only seen him on TV once, and I've seen bits of the pre-season games.
So you'd be holding judgment as to whether he's ready for an Ireland debut in the next couple of months just yet?
Yeah, exactly. And I genuinely have. Honestly, we've been in this position with so many players before where we've overhyped them. I'm not saying this lad looks a talent. Troy Parrott looks a real talent, and I'm not taking anything away from the talent that he's got. But I've seen it for the last 20 years, and I've watched a lot of players that have got to this stage that he's at now. There's a lot that can go wrong, but maybe touching what Richie said there, he doesn't seem to have any sort of nerves, and I think he feels in his own mind, I'm ready for this now. I'm ready to start playing first team football.
Yeah, I mean, David McGoldrick's done very well.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're crying out for it in the same way that I felt we were a year ago.
And Sean Maguire at the moment as well. We'll get a good look at him tonight against Man City for him, but he's scoring goals in the Championship as well now. But he could be a bit special, Troy. He could be our next Robbie Keane, essentially.
Oof.
I know, and that's the thing. Well, I know. I feel awful saying that, because we do almost pigeonhole certain players. The next Liam Brady, the next Giles, the next Keane. We've heard it all before, haven't we?
But the thing about it is,
I was the next Tony Galvin.
You were actually.
I was delighted with that one.
Socks down around your ankles.
Yeah, delighted with that one.
The thing about it is, Kev just mentioned it there. Like, you saw him last year playing under-17s for Ireland. Yeah. Mauricio Pochettino, who's no daw as a manager, sees him fit to start a game. No matter who's, it doesn't matter that it's Colchester, but he's starting a cup tie tonight away from home, and Pochettino thinks this guy's up for it.
Yeah.
I think that shows the leap that he's actually after going through in the past while, even with his talent, but also shows the faith that fairly smart people have in him.
Yeah. No, it's going to be interesting. So actually, I haven't talked to you about this. I meant to ask you.
Go on.
Jack Byrne.
Yeah.
What do we think?
I like him.
His debut.
His debut, great.
Wasn't it?
Well, he was playing on the half turn. He was switching play. He was taking the ball from a fullback. He was demanding the ball. Now, how many of our midfielders have we, and we've sat in this studio so often and said, lads are not demanding it. Lads in midfield, it's always the position where if a fullback's clipping up the line, you would always see a midfield lad going ballistic in the middle of the park. Give me the ball. I've not seen that from our midfielders for ages. All of a sudden, Jack Byrne's demanding it. And I think Jack Byrne, I've seen quite a lot of him this season. And I've maybe said it when I've sat in this studio before. I know when we've sat, certainly with Dan McDonnell and Johnny Ward, because they've seen a lot of him as well. As the season's progressed, he's had much more of an influence on games in the final third. And
is he now, after that performance in the friendly, and I admit it's a friendly, but is he now gone from 24th man left out of the Switzerland squad to very much on the bench and a real live option? Has he jumped that much up the ladder?
Yeah, I'd probably say he would have done.
Now we're talking.
He would have done.
Now we're talking.
I mean, the thing is that
that's all I wanted from you.
He's certainly the type of footballer that would appeal to you when you're watching games. He's certainly the sort of player, because of how he plays. Everything he did was positive. Even some of the crosses that he overhit, it was positive. And we haven't had a lad like that. You know as well, Rich. We haven't had a lad who's actually just come on into a game and demanded from others. And I like what I see. I like what I've seen across him as the season's progressed anyway with Rovers. But I certainly like what I saw of him making his international debut. And do you know what I liked? And I said it. Have we not spoken since then?
Me and you haven't.
We haven't. Every one of the lads that came off that had played that evening, and I'm talking John Egan for captain the country. Who else made his debut that evening as well? Josh Cullen, I think, made his debut that evening.
Played very well.
Played very well. Obviously, Jack Byrne. Who else? There was someone else made the debut as well that evening. Came off the pitch and said, that meant everything to me. And I can tell when it's genuine, and we can all tell when it's genuine. But with Jack Byrne, you could see what it meant to him. The shirts going up in the house, it just meant the world. And you know what I'm like? I'm a sucker for that sort of thing, Joe.
Really hadn't noticed. You might have mentioned that before.
I love it, and I could tell what it meant to all those lads. And
you're a sucker for that stuff.
I am, but I know it's genuine. Yeah. And I could tell it was genuine, and they wanted it, so it was great.
I have to say, I did enjoy the Declan Rice, Jack Grealish, Kevin Kilbane derby last week on Monday.
Did you enjoy the swapping shirts after the game as well? What a moment that was for the two of them, eh? Brilliant.
You need to build a bridge. So that's all I wanted to check up with you was Byrne. Mick McCarthy would have been impressed too, do you think?
I think so, yeah.
Were you talking to him?
No, I wasn't talking to him, no. But how can you not be impressed? Mick would always encourage the player of Jack Byrne's type to get on the ball, express yourself, and I'm sure that was a message when he's gone on the pitch. Just go and enjoy it. Go and enjoy the game. And
can you envisage a scenario where he comes on with 10-15 minutes to go in Tbilisi or 10-15 minutes to go in Geneva?
More likely Tbilisi, yeah. More likely that game. It depends how they're going. I mean, if we're chasing in Tbilisi, which I would hope we're not, I'll take a draw. I would take a draw now simply because of how they did against Denmark. If we win, brilliant. I would take a draw, but I think we can go there and win the match.
Do you know one of the great things about football is, and sport, I suppose, is how ruthless and in the moment it is in a good way. As in, reputations mean nothing. What you did yesterday means nothing. Who you're playing for a club level means nothing. So Byrne comes on, and the first 5 minutes he stands like 3 yards away from players and like screams, "Give me the ball!"
Yeah.
And some of them are almost looking at him sideways, saying, "Get away from me."
Yeah.
That's not how this game's been.
Yeah.
We're not doing that stuff. I'm clipping it over the top.
We don't have a midfield.
But by just continuing to do it and then eventually getting the ball and then doing good things, within about 10-15 minutes, as soon as he came over to them and they're on the ball, they were just like, yeah, okay, like, take it.
Yeah.
Like, take it. I don't care. I mean, some of them would have been, I've never seen you play before. I don't know much about you. I've seen you in training the odd time. You're a bit mouthy.
Yeah.
But here, take the ball. You're brilliant.
Yeah, exactly.
It was great.
It was great. And it does show his personality and what he wants. I said to him, Mick will encourage that. Definitely encourage that. I think Mick, in his post-match interview, didn't want to overhype what Jack had done. I think he was just trying to, and it was right to do that. I think he was right just to say, well, look, he's come in, he's done great.
I'm doing my best to hype him as much as I can.
I know.
So that's good. I haven't talked to you in the 2 weeks since then. But that was what I wanted to talk to you about.
I think you know full well I would have been impressed.
Well, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
So let's get to a few headlines. Newsround this evening is starting with the latest dispatches from Japan.
Yes, Ireland skills coach Richie Murphy has tried to allay fears over the fitness of Jonathan Sexton. The out-half picked up a quad injury during Sunday's win over Scotland and passed over kicking duties to Conor Murray during the game. Sexton worked on rehabbing the injury today and he's due to take a full part in training on Thursday, with Murphy saying a lighter load is not unusual. Joey Carberry is poised to step in should Sexton miss out in Shizuoka, while Keith Earls and Rob Kearney are also set for returns.
Yeah, no, Joey's fine. Earlsy fully trained today. Rob Kearney fully trained. So those three guys from last week have made really good progress, and even by the end of last week they were ready to play. But we didn't feel it was the right thing to put them in, with the fact that we had other players in the 31-man squad that we were happy with and we knew could do a job for us.
Samoa actually sit top of Ireland's Pool A this evening. The Pacific Islanders registered a 34 points to 9 bonus point win over Russia earlier today, while World Rugby say the standard of refereeing in the opening matches of the tournament across the weekend was not up to scratch. Rugby's governing body says they've met with all 23 match officials to address the issue. They say challenges in the use of technology and the team communications have impacted the decision making.
I like listening to the refs communicating with what they call
TMOs.
The TMO. I enjoyed listening to them. The chat that they would have and describing everything as a viewer. I thought it was great.
Georgia Wales game I was watching yesterday where there was an incident whereby they thought there was a high challenge and they basically ran through the issue with everybody hearing what was going on and everybody in full awareness of what was going on, and it really highlighted the shortcomings of VAR.
Yeah,
I knew you were taking us down a VAR route.
I know, we don't want to talk about
that.
But at the weekend, what
was the biggest issue at the weekend?
Well, the Spurs goal that was disallowed. It took so long to get to the decision as well, and it killed the game. And of course, it was only going to kill it for Spurs because Leicester then came back into it and ended up winning the game.
Well, was it the right decision? I know, I can't believe we're having this conversation.
How can you tell? And I think this was said on Match Today. How can you tell when the exact moment when that ball left the lad's boot? You can't tell that.
I was looking into this.
You can't though, can you?
And what they do is, because that was one of the issues that I had, when they're talking about whether or not it's accurate for offside, one of the issues
Personally, I don't think that should be offside anyway. But
okay, well, one of the issues seems to be, how accurately can they measure the bodies across the pitch and they draw the lines across the pitch? Apparently that's very accurate. But one of the question marks was, how do they decide contact with the ball at that exact millisecond? And you would know yourself, contact with the ball can differ. You could bog toe it, or you could wrap your foot around it, or you can stab at a ball. There's different lengths of contact if we're getting into milliseconds. So apparently what they consistently do then is they measure it from when boot first touches ball. So at least there is a consistency in how they're measuring contact with boot to ball. Yeah. So you could argue once they're doing it consistently, then it's fair for everyone. But then it's fair for everyone.
Do you enjoy it? Do you enjoy watching that at the weekend when you're getting no communication, you're getting no feeling of what's been said with the VAR and the match official or the referee?
It's the vacuum. A vacuum helps absolutely nobody.
I don't think it's helping the game. As in its current format, I don't think it's helping the game.
Okay, it'd be nice if you could hear what they're saying, have a discussion, fine. I think it's good for the game. I don't understand what fans want. I don't understand what you want. Do you want mistakes or not mistakes?
But that's not...
Now they've muddied the waters. That's the problem.
That's not clear mistake, though, is it?
Which one?
The Spurs offside goal, the Chelsea goal, they're so tight. There's fine margins in that. And I think when the game was changed a few years ago to bring... It's probably going back 10, 15 years now, but when it was brought into, I suppose, a modern game as it is now, where it was given the benefit of the doubt with attacking players that, look, marginal decisions, we're going to go with it, we're going to give goals. 4 goals choked off at the weekend, we're going to get less goals, I think we're going to get a lot more controversy, and I think it's going to maybe put more pressure on the referees ultimately in its current format as it is now, because those decisions are so marginal. It's
I know.
I can't agree with that marginal decision.
But if it's right, if it's the right decision, should margin come into it?
Not offside though, is he? Is that offside? He's
not gaining an advantage from that position.
Sure, but he's offside. To quote Graham Souness at the weekend in the Sky studio, can't be a little bit pregnant.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I know
which Roy Keane really enjoyed that line when Graham said it as well.
He did, yeah.
It's one of the few laughs across that long 7 hours.
That's 7 hours, 2 smiles all day. Bloody hell.
Look, I'm sure lots of people, I'd say the majority agree with you and don't seem to like it. I think it's a good step forward and it'll only get better. I think they're making
You like
right
that scientific
decisions.
approach, Joe. I know that you like it. You like it clarified, clarity in your own head. Yeah, bang, there you go. You're either offside or you're not. I mean, I sat there. I went and did it.
What's the problem with that?
Yeah.
It's either over the line or it's not. It's either offside or it's not.
Yeah, I know, but
what do you want?
It's just because he's just faking far too long. It's killing the game.
How long has it taken?
That was over 2 minutes at the weekend. That decision, the Spurs won, and it killed the game. Tottenham were flying at the time. Tottenham looked like they were going to score a couple more goals, and it just killed it from Tottenham's point of view.
But how could it have killed it?
Because you've celebrated a goal, you've had 2 minutes celebrating, everyone's back in position, right, ready to go, and then all of a sudden he blows his whistle back. And imagine how Tottenham feel when that happens.
It puts an absolute halt to momentum. That thing you used to hear of, such and such can't wait for half time to come because you just wanted a break in the game to regather yourself. You're suddenly granted that perhaps a couple of times in a half because you're going to have one of these decisions come up.
It's such old school nonsense. I feel like I'm sitting around the table with the old men in Moneyball.
Well, so you think that's not going to kill a game? You've played enough football yourself as a kid. That would kill a game. Tottenham's momentum with them, they're absolutely flying, and it just flattened, it just dampened Spurs.
So, say we got it down to 30 seconds and the goal was chalked off. Is that okay?
Well, it's got to be quicker. It definitely has to be quicker.
10
if
seconds.
That's the case. No, I'm saying...
Is 30 seconds okay?
30 seconds acceptable, isn't it? Because that's
would that not hold their momentum?
But that's taking the goal celebration, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they're back in position at this stage, and they're still waiting for this. We're still waiting for this decision to be made, and you're like, oh,
get on with
it. I don't think it didn't look great the weekend anyway.
Well, look, it took all of Spurs' momentum away, and it's ruined the momentum of this news round. We literally started with a World Cup rugby story, and look at us now.
Anyway, I was enjoying it. I've enjoyed the World Cup, and I've watched a little. Obviously, I watched our game at the weekend. I watched the Argentina France game.
That was good.
Really good game. And I actually watched that. I was watching that Samoa Russia game today as well.
There's a bit of crack too, yeah.
Saw a bit of that, yeah.
Okay, so
anyway,
we'll do VAR.
I know.
Later on.
I know it's such a crap topic to talk about, isn't it?
Every time I hear VAR being discussed, I just.
Well, they're getting it wrong. That's why.
But they're not getting it wrong. It's just taking too long. It's taking too long.
Getting it wrong.
I mean, the one thing they're not doing is getting it wrong, but they're taking too long.
They're getting it right in the wrong way.
Yeah. Good show.
Well said.
Yeah.
Okay, let's race through some stories then.
Dundalk are the SSE Electricity Premier Division champions for the 5th time in 6 seasons. Last night's 3-2 win over Shamrock Rovers at Oriel Park secured the title with 4 games to spare. Dundalk CEO Mark Devlin used last night's programme notes to float the idea of a ground share with Louth GAA, who have plans for a 14,000 capacity stadium on the outskirts of the town. As we mentioned, Troy Parrott will make his senior debut for Tottenham tonight. He starts in their Carabao Cup tie away to League 2 side Colchester. Manchester City begin their defence of the trophy away to a Preston side captained by Alan Brown. No Shawnee Maguire though tonight for Preston. Arsenal welcome Nottingham Forest to the Emirates. Kick-off in that one's been delayed to 8pm. Leicester face a tricky test at Luton. Alan Sheehan, the ex-Belvedere player, captains Luton tonight. Everton, strong side for them. They're away to Sheffield Wednesday. Michael Obafemi starts up front for Southampton. They travel to Portsmouth. Ronan Curtis starts for the hosts there. Watford host Swansea, and Crawley Town play host to Stoke City, for whom Nathan Collins and Stephen Ward both start. Former Ireland under-21 striker Rhys Grego-Cox playing for Crawley Town tonight. And Caoimhín Kelleher is poised to be handed his Liverpool debut in tomorrow evening's Carabao Cup tie away to the MK Dons. The Cork native has been understudy to Adrian during Alisson's absence between the posts, with Jurgen Klopp en route back from Milan, where he was named FIFA Manager of the Year last night. Pep Linders was in front of the press today, singing the praises of Kelleher.
We didn't let him get out on loan in the start of the season because we felt that he's ready to be involved in our in our goalkeeper setup. He was injured in the start, so that was difficult because we wanted him to have a super pre-season, a good pre-season to feel the team better and play more games for us with the last line as well. So he looks good now. He's ready for it, that's for sure. He's a boy who unbelievable speed reactions. He can. He's good on the line. What I mean with that, but what he has and what makes him really special, in my opinion, is his build-up play. He's calm on the ball, understands the game, can play inside, can play outside. There's a calmness over him, even in 1v1 situations. So yeah, he's a talented goalkeeper. But again, next step, on the right moments, right times. Yeah.
Where was Jack Byrne last night, Joe? Oriel Park humbled him, says Danny. What's the word on Shawnee Maguire, Preston Kev? Is he still the main man, wonders Darren?
Yeah, he's going well.
Egan was picked by Jamie Redknapp in his team of the week, says somebody else. And then Dinny and Cork. He's let himself down here. Badly.
Read it out, Joe.
Go on.
I mean, I'm not going to spit indoors. He says, Joe.
Please don't.
I think you'll find the expression is toe bog, not bog toe. And then he writes hashtag not a football man.
See, the thing about it is,
toe bog.
I wanted to step in there.
It's bog toe.
I wanted to step in there and point out that where we were,
no,
it was bull toe.
Okay. Okay, fine. But it's not toe bog.
No, that's just that's ours backwards, like.
Is that a thing in Cork?
It's different. Yeah,
big toe in Dundalk is run on in the box.
A what, Ronan?
Big toe.
It's big toe. It's big toe in Dundalk. But like nowhere is it toe before bog or big.
It might be. He might be down there, Joe. You don't know, do you?
Toe bog sounds like a really dodgy trad act.
No, I'm not doing it at all. It's bog toe.
Right.
What was it where you're in your neck of the woods?
Wouldn't have been bog toe. Heard the expression, but no, it wouldn't have been.
What was it?
Well, it wouldn't have been toe bog.
No, definitely wasn't that.
Bull toe, Kev, that's what it is.
If you were to bog it, that's what we'd say. You bogged that one.
Just miss-hit, I suppose, isn't it?
It's not a miss-hit.
No, you can bog toe the ball deliberately.
Intentionally, yeah.
Toe poke.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
It's not really
toe poke.
I'll give you toe poke.
We used to say, there was an old one that I never really used to use it called toe bung. Toe bung it.
Toe bung it.
Yeah. But it was, toe poke.
So for the crack, if you stepped
it's up... like Ronaldinho, isn't it, against Chelsea? That
well, exactly. That's about a bog toe.
Yeah.
Ronaldinho bog toed it.
Toe poke.
Toe poke. Yeah, no, fair enough. I'll give you toe poke.
He was a genius for doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, toe poke, okay.
Yeah.
Bog toe, to me, feels like there's a bit more power behind it. A toe poke is a bit more deft.
I like
a toe poke is you're trying to reach the ball and tip it in with your toe. Whereas a bull toe is you're putting your bloody foot through it and hitting it with your toe.
Toe bung.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying.
So, Dinny...
You're not having it now.
You're 0 for 3 here, Dinny. You need to come back with me. People of Cork, is it a toe bog? They can't even say it. It's definitely not a toe bog. Now, Kev, exciting news. Tonight we're giving you the chance, not you personally, but the good listeners, a chance to win a €100 voucher for appliances delivered.ie. To be in the running, answer this question. Which team beat Everton 2-0 at the weekend? Who dreamt up that question? It's the least imaginative question the lads out there have ever put together. Which team beat Everton 2-0 at the weekend?
Don't remind me.
Text your name and answer. 53106 with the team, 30 cents, we'll announce the winner at the end of the show. And that is all with thanks to applicensdelivered.ie, the best range of big screen TVs and accessories delivered in time for the biggest games. Is there any last story you really want to squeeze in, Richie?
Yeah, the Waterford news is kind of interesting because they look set to appoint a first outsider as hurling manager since David Fitzgerald. Peter Queally had been the favourite to succeed Pádraig Fanning, who stepped down after less than a year in charge following a disappointing Munster hurling championship. But the county selection committee have looked elsewhere, with Tipperary's All-Ireland under-20 winning manager Liam Cahill set to take the role. Henry Shefflin's name had also interestingly been in the frame for that one.
Right, okay. Paul O'Neill's been in touch. I don't know what's happening in Munster. It's a toe drive in Waterford.
What?
No.
Toe drive.
Bog toe.
Play live.
It's bog toe.
It's not.
I'd probably say toe bog. I'd probably
get out.
I'd probably bog toe. Just thinking about it there now. Yeah. Well, it's a toe poke, toe bung, toe whatever. You're using the Joe. I think you might be. That must be up your way up in Selbridge, wasn't it? Yeah. No.
The mean streets. We're taking a short break. We are with Dundalk player and manager next.
Off the Ball on News Talk.
This Irish success story is brought to you by Guaranteed Irish.
Did you know that Black Knight is the leading Irish-owned web hosting company with 84,000 customers in 130 countries? Based in Carlow, Black Knight employs 48 people, providing domain names, email and web hosting using the latest technology and responsive customer support. Guaranteed Irish welcomes companies that are altogether better choices for our communities. So look out for it. GuaranteedIrish.ie. Altogether better.
To celebrate the launch of the Laser and Skin Clinic's new state-of-the-art clinic on Pembroke Street Lower, we're giving away an amazing 20% off all skin treatments and products on September 26th. Visit laserandskin.ie for more details. Don't miss out. Buy now, use later. Celebrate with us on the 26th of September and start your skin journey.
Tiles and bathrooms, wooden floors, and House of Tiles. The choice is yours.
It's a tax-free sale all this week at House of Tiles. We're paying the 23% VAT on your tile, adhesive and grout purchases at House of Tiles. Coolock, Bray, Coolmine, Sandyford and Longmile Road. Sale must end Sunday. See houseoftiles.ie. Terms and conditions apply.
Last month, the Gurnan family saved €591 at Lidl. Their shop last week included our delicious deluxe salmon and puff pastry for $6.49. And they netted a load of other great products too. Net, brilliant. Start your big save at Lidl.ie. Lidl, more for you. The Gurnan shop between August 14th and September 16th and receive a gratuity for participation.
When you get a new home, or even one that's not so new anymore, it can be hard to know where to start to make it your own. Maybe with those horrific tiles in the downstairs bathroom. Or that trippy carpet in the upstairs bathroom. The one the previous owners put down before you were even born. Yep, bathroom carpet. Whatever your plans, when it comes to your first home, start by talking to the Ulster Bank mortgage team to see how we could help. Talk to us today. Ulster Bank. Help for what matters. Over 18s and residential mortgages only. Ulster Bank Ireland DAC is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland.
Food, glorious food. You can't beat the classics. And when it comes to that classic combination of fashion, food and films, you can't beat Swords Pavilions. Pick up some bargains and sit down to some fantastic food and the biggest blockbusters. And with Five Guys, Milano and Zaytoon now open, there's even more action. Swords Pavilions, just off the M1 with 2 hours free parking.
Tuesday, October 8th, the Republic of Ireland take on Ukraine in a huge Women's Euro 2021 qualifier. In partnership with 20 by 20, we're asking you to help the team and make history by setting a new attendance record in Tallaght Stadium. Kick-off is 7:30pm and tickets are just €5, while under-16s go free. Show your stripes for the girls in green and new manager Fira Pau in her first match at Tallaght Stadium. Tickets on sale now at fai.ie/tickets. Booking fee applies.
Relax this evening and visit itsforwomen.ie. Great value car insurance for those on the go. Get the cover you need day or night at itsforwomen.ie. It's time to own it.
Off the Ball. This is News Talk.
Now then, you're very welcome back. So, Dundalk 3-2 winners last night against Shamrock Rovers. I'm sure lots of you watched it on the TV. A fifth title in 6 years, second trophy in 2 weeks, and they are looking very much for the treble. Delighted to say John Gill has popped into studio. Thanks a million for coming in.
No, thank you.
Quiet time.
Yeah, a little bit delicate at the moment, but listen.
How did the night go, more importantly? Yeah,
it was a good night. Listen, we celebrated, but we were in the gym today at 1 o'clock. All players back in doing recovery, and that's the difference of this group.
Yeah.
Very, very dedicated, very professional. Yeah, we celebrate, but our focus now is on Sunday.
How was that session in the gym though?
There was a few delicate heads. Some that played went into the pool. But they all worked. They all did a little bit, and that's what they're about.
Yeah, good.
We are joined as well on the line by club captain Brian Gartland. You can hear us, Brian?
Yeah, I can hear you, Grant. Thanks.
Did you make the gym session today at 1?
I did. I'd one of the ones that didn't have the luxury of sitting in the pool because I wasn't involved last night. I wasn't on the pitch, so I had a bit of a slog on the treadmill.
Yeah. So, I mean, sum up the season, Brian. Obviously, you've been there a long time and you've seen players come and go and now managers come and go. This must rank up there as a big, big title for Dundalk amongst the many that you have in your back pocket now.
Yeah, it's massive. I suppose everyone is, and we'll say that every year. But I suppose after the uncertainty and the drama of last November, December, when Stephen Kenny leaves, that there's question marks over the whole squad, the staff, everyone behind us. So it's a challenge that you're sort of faced with, and when people question you, I suppose it always gives you a bit more motivation and that you want to rise to it.
The start of the season wasn't so good, and then things really kicked on. What's your memory of that early part of the season?
Yeah,